of the crime. So, heading in to have my rotator cuff repair surgery, and I fell in the bathtub, and now we have a bath mat. We didn't have one when it happened, and when I fell backwards onto this edge here. It hit pretty hard. When I fell, I tried to get up, and I tried to use my arm, and it kind of swept off from underneath me, and I heard a loud pop in my left shoulder, and my entire arm all the way down to my fingers it was numb, but it was also excruciating. The pain was amazing. So, of course, we went to the ER, my husband and I did, after a very comical experience trying to get clothes onto me so that I wouldn't have to wear my bathrobe to the ER. I think it's comical now, but it wasn't at the time. And of course, my hair was wet, and it was just a disaster. So in the ER, they did an x-ray, and they didn't see any broken bones, or they didn't see that my shoulder was dislocated or anything. And so they gave me medicine for pain, and of course, there was the follow-up after the fact. So the problem was that, of course, with a fall like that, there's going to be lots of inflammation. However, after so many days, the inflammation should go away, and I should have been able to still have the use of my arm. But because I could not lift my arm, and this is literally as high as I can lift my arm from the front, and this is as high as I can lift it from the side. And if I try to touch my head, this is all that I can do. So, of course, I needed further testing. And I had to go in and get a MRI, which was a horrible experience because nobody wants to be trapped inside of that little tube. And there's this interesting cuff that they put my arm inside of, and it was pressed against this area where the affected area, and it was very painful, extremely painful. And so being in that machine, pressed against the machine for 45 minutes was a very unpleasant experience. And the only reason that I stayed and I didn't bail out of that test is because I really wanted to know what was wrong with my arm. So, making a long story short, my MRI results came back that I completely detached 2 of the 4 tendons that make up the rotator cuff. So, lucky me, I get to go in today and have it repaired. I was told that I would be I wouldn't be able to move it for 6 weeks at all. And then I would start physical therapy after 6 weeks. And then eventually I should make a full recovery. But the surgeon also told me that the repair process is not the big issue. It's the recovery process that's the tough road, because it's going to be a long road. So I'm going to document and tell about my experience, because I have watched lots of videos and I'm taking lots of tips from other people who have had this experience already. And one of the tips that I learned from a lot of folks is to have a recliner. So when we realized that I was going to have surgery, my husband and I went in and we purchased a recliner, because apparently it's vital to this type of recovery, because you don't want to struggle to sleep in a bed. So we did that, and also the Polar Pack ice water machine. We ordered one, haven't gotten it just yet, and hopefully we can get it today and bring it home with us from the hospital for my surgery. Surgery is going to be outpatient, and so we'll see. I'm looking here in the camera at my grays. Lovely. Kind of skunky. But for the past couple weeks since this happened, I have not been too concerned about coloring. My husband has offered to do it for me, which he's a lovely man, and I appreciate him for that. However, some things you just want to do yourself, and I know that I could always have someone else do it, but I want to do it myself. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest issues through this entire experience, is not being able to do things myself. So, in just actually probably about 30 minutes, I'm going in to get registered and all of that stuff and get this surgery done. So, see you in a bit.